Hello, my friends. Erich Andreas, YourGuitarSage here. Hey, hit me up if you can hear me. Can you, everybody hear me? I'm looking at the chat. Give me a heads up if you can hear me. If not, such hotness, such sexiness. I'm assuming that means you can hear me. Anybody else's audio way ahead of their video. Uh-oh. Hope that's not the case. I tell you what, if it is, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna check on my end here. So hang in there, real quick. Hang in there. Such hotness, such sexiness. I'm assuming that means such hotness, such sexiness. I'm assuming that means you can hear me. Anybody else's? Okay, I'm not experiencing that issue over here. So, okay, so it looks like some folks' audio and video is out of sync. I'm looking. Hold on. Yeah, out of sync. Huh. Okay. Not cool. Okay, well, I'm not sure what we're going to do in this situation, because that's going to be really annoying for you. I'm not sure what we're going to do here, my friends. Seems like everybody's having that problem. So, let's do this. Hang in here with me. Man, that's not fun. Just play more slowly. About 3 or 4 seconds ahead. That's not good. Oh, no. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do, my friends. I'm going to... All right, Jason's saying let it catch up. This is what we're going to do. I'm just going to keep teaching. I'm going to tell you about what I'm going to be doing today. So just pretend like we're in an old karate movie, and if we're still having a problem in a minute, then I'm going to restart the broadcast, okay? Which I may end up doing anyhow, okay? I tell you what, that's what I'm going to do. We're just not even going to wait till then, all right? So everybody hang in there, okay? And I'm going to restart this, okay? All right. My advisor's saying do not. We're just gonna teach it, okay? Now, if it continues, I'll restart or something, okay? Let's go into what it is. I'm sorry. This is the experiences that we have sometimes with live. It kind of sucks. But if I keep worrying about that, we're not going to get to the lesson, okay? So you can just turn away from me, or if you can read lips, then turn off the audio, and here we go, okay? So first off, if I'm acting a little bit loopy, it's because I threw out my back and I took a little pain pill. So to add to the fun, maybe that's the deal. Maybe I'm talking out of sync. We'll see how this goes. This will be fun. Okay, now first off, looking at my little cheat sheet here. If you are watching at YouTube right now, you shouldn't be. You should be at YourGuitarSage.com/live. The link's in the description. It's longer in the description, but you should be going there. And then you should end up at YourGuitarSage.com/live. Reason being, there's a lot of reasons. One, you can join the chat. It's where the fun kids are. It's the cool party. The YouTube page is not where the cool kids are hanging out. You need to be at YourGuitarSage.com/live. Also, I've got a lot of PDFs that I've added here, right, that are going to be helping you for this particular broadcast. And then we also have some amazing deals that we've never offered. Look, I've been teaching for like 35 years. I've been on YouTube since 2005, and then built this massive unstoppable guitar system, and this is the first time that we've ever done $200 off. It's basically, the price is cut in half to celebrate 200,000 subscribers. I think we're at 200,000, see, it's the pain pill, 200,000 subscribers, but I think we're at 205,000 now. So it's in celebration of that. So that's where you need to be first off. And what we're doing today is the fingerprint of the major scale. Okay, this is something that I learned when I was a kid, and sorry, just checking to make sure if I'm still out of sync or not. I shouldn't really be worried about that. This is a technique that I used as a kid all the time, and it was fantastic. So this was the first technique that I used. If you know my story as a guitar player, I had a guitar with one string on it. I don't know where I got it from. I don't remember the story anymore myself. I had a guitar with one string. Probably got it at a garage sale or something like that. Funny, right? Providence, that I saw this thing and wanted it and was like, I need to play one string guitar. And that was all that was on there, was one string. And I just would listen to melodies and I would play them, whether it was the James Bond theme or Iron Man or Smoke on the Water or Happy Birthday or whatever. And I'd listen to the notes and I'd play them, okay? Not like I would just listen and all of a sudden I'd play it. Just like you, I'd hit the wrong note and I'd hit the wrong note and I'd hit the wrong note and I'd find one note that was right. And then once I found that one note that was right, kind of like the broadcast from last week, once you have a reference, in this case the tonal center, then if you have one particular note, the other notes are easier to get, right? So same deal there. So anyhow, this technique really worked super well. And I was able to just take songs and eventually pick them out. And then once I did it, then I would memorize the frets and what have you, just like you do. This is not a special talent. You know me and my thoughts on talent. I don't believe that there is really... I won't even get into that right now, or I'm going to make some people mad. I believe that you learn stuff, and when you learn stuff and you apply yourself, you get better at it. So if that's what people are calling talent, then by all means, there are talented people. Otherwise, I just call it practice, and you can... That's liberating because that means you can do anything that you want to do if you practice it, okay? Same thing with this ear stuff, okay? All right. I need a delay. I know. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm still distracted. I want to make sure that you guys have a good experience in here. If I get the okay, Jason, if I get the okay from you, Jason kind of keeps me in the lines. I need management because I'm a musician crazy type, and so he kind of helps me a lot. So, Jason, if I need to restart, if you think that would help, just let me know, please. Okay, so anyhow, this fingerprint of the major scale. Remember, I was talking about being a detective. A detective goes to a crime scene. They see blood. They see maybe a weapon. They see a struggle. They see fingerprints. Yada yada yada, and they're picking up clues. Now, if a detective walks in, he's going, "Oh, a gun. Well, I know this guy down the road. He's got a gun. It's probably him." Well, that's kind of not a very smart thing to do, right? Because that's kind of jumping to conclusions, and we need more information in order to determine who did the crime. Well, same thing when it comes to determining the key. And if you remember when I said, when we're talking about the key of a song, once you know the key, it narrows all the notes, all the chords, the potential chords that you can play down from 12 to 1. Okay? Whatever the amount of chords that are possible to play with not knowing the key, narrowing it down to knowing the key narrows it down from 12, a potential of 12 to 1. And so what I mean by that is, if we have, let's say in one key we have 7 chords to choose from, if we had 12 different keys, we could basically multiply that by 12, okay? So knowing the tonal center is super important. Hopefully you have that by now. I won't preach on that anymore. So we're going to go into that. And by the way, if I didn't post this, and we're going to get into it in just a second, if I didn't post this already, when you go to YourGuitarSage.com, if you want to be part of this right here, the whole how to play by ear portion of the program that's in the Unstoppable Guitar System, then you'll be needing to use that coupon right there. And so YourGuitarSage.com/UGS200. And once you're there, just enter this coupon, play by ear 200. Okay, I forgot to mention this to you. I'm sorry. The chat thing has me distracted a little bit. Okay, and again, this is the first time we've ever done $200 off. So if you want to get in there, if you want to learn more about playing by ear and a billion other subjects, go there, check that out. If you're saying to yourself, hey, I know he's going to do this for Thanksgiving, we're not. We're not doing it for Thanksgiving. I don't know what we're going to do, if anything. I'm sure we'll do something because we're thankful, but it's not going to be this deal. This is just a one-time deal, or at least this is the first time we've ever done it. I don't know. Will we do it again? I don't know. No intentions right now for Thanksgiving or Christmas to do it again. So if you're interested in getting in UGS, now's the time to do it. It ends at midnight. Not playing around. It ends at midnight. So there you go. I'll throw that slide up later if you guys need it. Okay, sorry, I forgot about that. So again, tonal center, super duper important, and this is what I teach in a lot of my videos. You see me grab the capo. You see me talk about C, G, D, these open keys, and the reason being is it makes things so much easier. Why make things harder? Is guitar not hard enough for you? Because I don't know about you, but I've been playing for 30-something years, and I'm still learning, and I still feel like I haven't even scratched the surface, okay? Oh, yay, Cheryl says it's getting better. Hopefully you're talking about the lag, okay? Hopefully that's what you're talking about. So tonal center, super important, and that's why today I want to show you what I call the fingerprint of the major scale. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over 4 songs, okay? And these are 4 songs that I randomly chose. They're also songs that I know and that I love, and they're also songs that are very melodic. And so I figured you would probably know at least one of these songs. And I wanted to show you that there are fingerprints, everywhere. There's information everywhere coming at you a million miles per hour. If you know how to decipher it, there's code out there with everything. When someone's talking to you in a certain tone, when someone's texts you, whatever, there's code in there. There's stuff to decipher, and if you're keen to it, body gestures, all this sort of thing, you can pick up on a lot of information. Same thing with music. You can listen to a piece of music and not know the key, not know anything about it, but as a musician, you start to know more and more about it, like maybe what are those guys called, the wine people? Oh, God, I just watched a documentary on it. Anyhow, shoot, I cannot believe I've forgotten the name of that. But anyhow, the wine connoisseurs, and they can literally sip wine. They can tell you what year. They can tell you what country. They can tell you what province. If they're really, really good, those guys can tell you where the grapes came from. It's absolutely crazy, but that's what they're trained to do. So there's certain information that's coming across in the way they smell a grape and what have you. Same thing is true with music, okay? And so I'm going to show you this today, and it's super duper valuable. It's super important. And by the way, so that little bit there that I played a second ago, the little blues bit, that's playing by ear, okay? What I did is I knew the key, and I knew what scale I would like to play over it to give it a certain vibe. And so, a sommelier, thank you. Like a million people are writing sommelier. Yeah, and it's not sommelier, it's sommelier. That's how you say it. Thank you for writing that. I need to be looking at the chat more. Okay, so, a sommelier. So, what I was doing earlier is I had a song, or a 12-bar blues, meaning 12 different measures, or 12 measures of music, and then it loops over again, and that was in the key of A, and I was choosing the A blues scale, okay, which means I have a subset of notes that are going to match that. So if you didn't know that, you would go, how does he know what notes to play? Well, that's so inspiring, that's so amazing. Yeah, it's inspiring because I didn't know exactly what I was going to play, but I did know the basic area on the neck. I knew some areas on the neck that I might be if I was going to do this, okay? So that's one example of playing by ear. So many examples to play by ear. Learning songs. All the songs that I teach, like 99% of what I teach on YouTube, those are songs that I listen to. Maybe a student came over and they said, hey, I want to know this new Taylor Swift tune. And I say, okay. And I listen to it, and right away I find out the key using some of the techniques from last week, some of the techniques that I'm going to show you today. And then I find the tonal center, and then that tonal center tells me what chords are 99% of the time going to fall into that. And then all of a sudden things become super easy. I'm working with several students right now teaching them this, and you see the lights go on because it's kind of like you don't believe it until you do it yourself, and then you go, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. So I want you to know this. I want you to just believe me in this, okay? Just believe me in this, and I promise you, if you apply it, you're gonna see the rewards. You're gonna get this, okay? Okay, so here we go. We're gonna delve into these four tunes, and I'm gonna show you how this is going to. There's a fingerprint here that we're looking for. Okay, so you guys have heard this song before, right? It goes. It's the hydrocodone playing. Sorry. So I have a couple of videos on YouTube, one of me teaching that song and then one of me performing the song. But the idea is it's a finger picking tune, and the idea is I'm playing a bass note and I'm playing a melody over the top at the same time. Pretty cool. But the more important part for this lesson is the fact that there's a melody going over the top, and that melody, and same with the bass notes, tell us what key we're in, okay? So do you remember this slide from last week? If you're watching on YouTube and you want this, you can't find it on YouTube. Unless you take a screenshot right now, you could do that, but why when I got the PDF for you? This bit from last week, you can download at YourGuitarSage.com/live. So for those of you that are here, you can download this. Right above the chat, you'll see it. It says, click here to download the PDFs. Okay, so right there, we're going to be using that some. So you don't have to print it up or anything right now. I'll put it up on the screen when it's necessary. But make sure you download it by the end of the broadcast or near the end of the broadcast so you've got it. Or after. Okay, it'll be up for a bit. Okay, so here we go. Let's analyze these notes here. And I like to always keep everything in this section of the guitar. First 4 frets. Why? Because the whole spectrum of notes is there. From A to G sharp. And then it starts over again, right? It just repeats as we get up here. But you can find all the notes you need here. And that's what we're going to do. So let's analyze. First off, any notes that you that you play, if you can just name them, okay? And I have videos for this in UGS and on YouTube. You just name the notes, okay? I'm not going to go over the names of the open strings and the notes. I'm assuming that you know that. If you don't, you need to watch my videos on that. It'll take you 5 minutes to learn, okay? Literally 5 minutes. But I can't go over it now because we got to move. Okay, so I'm going to take two parts. I'm going to take the bass line and I'm going to take the melody. So the first melody, or the bass line is, I'm playing in octaves. So this is E. This is a C and an E. A G and a D. An F sharp and a D. Okay, now, right, just from that information right there, we can determine the key of the song. Okay, watch this. Now, I want you, some of you already have it. Some of you already know it, but watch this. What I want you to do is looking at the matrix that's on your screen right now. For those of you that weren't here last time, for the last broadcast, for those of you that weren't here, guys are still receiving a lag, aren't you? God, I'm so sorry. Makes me sad. Makes me sad. Okay, okay, so here we go. The E, okay? What I want you to do is on this matrix, for those of you that weren't here last week, on the far left, we've got keys A through G. Now, we don't have the sharped keys in here. They could be in here, but I just chose not to put them in here just to do the open keys. And really some other ones in there. B is not open, F's not open. But the ones that are considered open are C, G, D, A. And what that means is you got a lot of open chords in it. That's all. That's all that means. Open chords meaning not a lot of bar chords. Simple as that. It's not a perfect science. It just is what it is. At the top there you see it says major, and these are major keys. And then you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Back to 1, even though you don't see another 1 on there. Or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's why they call it an octave, because oct means 8, like octopus. So that's the 8th note, right? And so then we got the keys, and then going across, you see some greens, some reds, and some pinkish purple color, right? Well, the greens are the chords. So the greens are the major chords, the reds are the minor chords, and the pinkish purple thing there is diminished, okay? So if we were to, let's say we go to the key of C. So go all the way down to the key of C, and you'll see C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then if you're looking at the chords, so the melody notes in the key of C are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, and the chords are C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, C. Okay, back to C. So, and there's a whole bunch of theory that I go into in the Unstoppable Guitar System, which basically determine why it is that those work, okay, why those work together. But basically, it is it's the construction of the major scale that does this, okay? So, watch this. We're doing kids here, right? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to look on this chart, and I'm going to name out notes. What you're looking for is you're looking for one particular key that has all those notes in it. This will happen probably 95 to 97% of the time when you're analyzing music. It doesn't mean that it has to follow it perfectly. It just means that it's going to do it a lot, okay? This would work for a major or minor key. So the major would be the 1. If it's a minor key, you're going to go all the way over to the 6, and that would be your tonal center, okay? But you'd still keep everything the same. So I just like to consider everything that it's in the major key. Even when it's in a minor key, you just call it the 6, okay? Super easy. In fact, this song is in a minor key, but we're going to analyze it like it's in a major key. And I'm not going to tell you the key. You're going to find out for yourself, okay? Okay, so here we go. Now, we have, so this is your job. You're the detective. I'm going to throw out clues to you. You tell me what key we're in. And then, but don't, if you would, don't put it in the chat until I say to, okay? Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl that's spoiling the Walking Dead series by saying who died. Okay, be cool. Just right. Just be cool. Don't give it away if you haven't already. Okay. But wait till I give you the okay, and then I want you just a barrage of letting me know the key. Okay. Why is my computer going out? Scary. Okay. So here we go. Here's the first note, an E. So this is this intro part here. So now what that means is the key of A, or the key of, let's pick one. Let's see, the key of, well, can't rule any of them out yet. Okay, so the next one is a C. So if you look at the top, the key of A has a C sharp in it, so automatically you're going to rule that guy out. I'll guide you a little bit on this. So that C, automatically the key of A is gone, right? Fabian, you can't say that. All right, Glenn died. All right, so G. So now look, the key of B is out, right? Because that's got a G sharp. Here's the next one. It's there's a D. So this is a G and a D. So look, the key of E is gone. Can't use that because it's got a D sharp in it. And watch this here. Now we got an F sharp. Okay, so our subset of notes are going to be E, C, G, D, and F sharp. Now, tell me what key you think it is. Everybody write it down or put it in the chat there. Let me know what key you think it is. By the way, we have a 35-second delay here, so I will have to wait for you to tell me what key you think it's in. Okay. And in fact, I'm gonna see. Can it be in any other key here? No. Now it can only be in one key from what I just gave you. Okay. I know I'm gonna get a barrage of a blast of particular keys here. Then I'll know how. Yeah. Yep. Yes. You all have it. Key of G. Right. Rock on, Hoochie Coo. So that's what I'm talking about. See, it's as easy as that. So if you got that, okay, you're playing. This is the step to playing by ear. Okay, so a lot of people think that playing by ear has to do with your ear. Well, it has a lot to do with your ear, but it also has to do with deciphering things. So like, if I didn't know that we were in the key of G, then I'm going to be grabbing at all sorts of chords. I don't know what chords I'm grabbing at. I'm just randomly grabbing at chords, which is a big old mess if you're trying to learn a tune. Okay, nice job, everybody. Let's do this now with Love Me Tender, okay? Love me tender, love me true. So you know the song, right? Love me tender, love me true. Never let me go. Sorry, playing by ear. Oh, my darling, I love you. Don't eat everything at that buffet. I'm still hungry, and I always will. Okay, so we have a couple things to look at. We've got the chords from last week, but let's not use that. We got C, D, and G. Okay. Which might tell us a particular key, but like a detective, like a good detective, he's not going to take one clue like C, D, and G, because if I said C major, D major, and G major, you might say one particular key. Shouldn't be saying anything yet, because didn't tell you that. Simon didn't say yet, okay? So C, D, and G, so those are some clues, but remember, we want to use a bunch of different clues, okay? So let's take the melody as well, because if we just take those chords, we might say a particular key. It may or may not be that, okay? So don't jump to conclusions. You might throw the wrong guy in prison for assuming that somebody did a crime they didn't do. And we may not know that this particular key is that particular key. It may be something else. Let's use the melody, okay? So we want to take a bunch of different things, okay? So So this is what I like to do. I like to keep everything in the little 4 range there, and we got love me tender, love me, love me, love me, love me true. So you can see I really don't know this tune, okay? And I'm not super good at playing by ear. I can do it, but some people are better than others. It's a practice thing. So we got love me tender. Love me true, never let me go. Let's just take those notes. Usually, you only need a handful of notes. So now again, using our little chart here. Watch this, okay? For those of you that thought that we were in one particular key, all right. Watch this. We got. Love me tender. Okay, those 3 notes are G. Okay, you should be narrowing these down again, right? Key of A is gonzo. So love me, that's a C. So the key of B is gone, right? And others. Love me tender, that's a B. So far our notes are G, C, and B. And there we have a D, A, D. And then we got C, B, A, B, C. So, again, here are our subset of notes. We got G, C, B, A, D. Okay? C, or G, C, B, A, and D. C, G, B, A, and D. C, B, G, A, and D. Okay, ready? Now, so what key, tell me what key you think it is. What key do you think we're in? One would think that our kitchen 113, one would think the key of G, right? Because, well, actually, we don't know for sure, do we? Because we don't have an F or an F sharp, okay? So it's not to say that's actually a really super good guess, our kitchen, and it's not even so much a guess. It was really good, and same thing with Chris here. You would be correct in going on the clues because so far there's nothing to say that it's not in the key of G. And in fact, if we look at the key of C, it has a D minor, but remember we played a D major chord there, right? So if we're just going on those clues, it really looks like we're in the key of G. But in fact, we're actually in the key of C. And here's why. Let's take another clue from last week, right? My hat's falling off. My wife says that I got to put this over my ears, but lift it up here. My little ginseng thing to keep me hanging along. I do what the wife says here. Okay, so let's use another clue from last week. Watch this. We got love me tender, love me true. Remember we said the first chord and the last chord oftentimes give us a clue to what that tonal center is. So let's use that. We got love me tender. It's a C. Okay. Now, if we were to, let's try to end the song. Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. Oh, my darling, I love you, and I always will. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams. There's an F chord. All my dreams. There's another clue. Okay, so we just took a small segment of the song, and we didn't come across this chord yet until just now. All my dreams. It's actually an F sharp minor. An F minor, which again still doesn't match with the key of C, but it still points. All my dreams fulfill. Oh my darling, I love you and I always will. Anyhow, the song resolves back on that C. Okay, so I wanted to throw a wild card in here because I don't want you to assume that every single song is going to work out perfectly like Kids or some of these other ones that I'm going to show you. It's not true. That's why I say that. That's why we always say 99% or 95 or 97%. These are rules of thumb, okay? These are still rules of thumb. Sorry, I just read still. This still a delay after refreshing. So sorry. So when we take all those clues and put them together, we still have the key of C, okay? So remember, even though we've got these chords here, okay? Even though we got those chords, there's nothing to say that we can't change some of those chords up. And in this case, in the key of C, the writer of this song, and I don't know who it was, I know it wasn't Elvis, but the writer of the song said, man, I really like, oh, my darling, I love you. I like that D sound, D major, instead of a D minor. And instead of the F major, they did an F minor. Okay? Now, these are called borrowed chords. I get into this, I've gotten into this in lessons before because it's one of my favorite subjects, borrowed chords. But it's pretty heady, it's pretty deep because you're talking about borrowing chords from other keys, and they're called temporary key changes, okay? So I wanted to say that to you because not all are going to be the same, okay? They're just not. Okay, so let's take... so what I mean by that is not all songs are going to match this matrix perfectly, okay? Some of them are going to fall outside of that, but again, you're a detective. So it's not to say that you can't have somebody who commits a crime who tries to throw you off their scent and maybe leaves a clue that was not, or that was left purposefully to lead you off the trail. So you can think about music the same way. Don't jump to conclusions, but another thing you can do is start playing scales, a particular scale over it, and you're going to hear that one scale is going to gravitate more to another. So if you were to play the key of the C major scale or the G major scale, C is probably going to sound better. But on those chords that are borrowed, you're going to have a slightly different sound there. Okay, let's get on to another one here that's going to be a little bit more general, and then we'll get to some questions. Okay, so another one is He Stopped Loving Her Today. So you've heard this one. I forget the lyrics. And in 1962, I think 1962, he says, it underlined in red every single I love you. You know that song, right? So he stopped loving her today. Placed a wreath upon his door. You gotta be able to sing country if you live in Nashville. And soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. So we got that, all right? So we got some clues there. But again, we're just going to use the major scale because some of you already looked at my hands and said, you're in the key of such and such. But let's see for just a moment here. Let's be a good detective, and let's look and see if there's other clues here. So he stopped loving her today. All the thing you got to do is find the first note. Now, what did I do there? I hummed a note. I played a note. That was too high. I just went to the next note that I thought was logical. So he stopped loving her today. He stopped loving her today. It's a D. He stopped loving her. He stopped loving her today. It's a low D, but still it's a D. They placed a wreath upon his door. Okay, this is hunting. We're hunting for notes. Okay, this is the whole process. What you often see is someone playing, maybe it's me or Stevie Ray Vaughan or somebody else, you see him playing after all this stuff, and it looks really impressive. This doesn't look impressive, but if you want to learn to play by ear, if you want to learn to play solos and improv like anybody, like Eddie Van Halen or Stevie Ray Vaughan or me or anybody else, not that I'm putting myself in that same category as those guys, but if you want to get good, this is what you got to do. You got to know what notes not to play to know what notes to play. So, he stopped loving her today. Anyhow, so let's name some of those notes. Okay, let's look at this. So we got he stopped loving her. So we got a D, B, D, low D. They placed a wreath upon his. So here we got D, B, D, E, C. So there we go. We got C. I'm going to give you the new ones. So we got C, E, A, He stopped loving her today. Anyhow, we don't have any new notes there. So we got C, B, A, D, E, and a G. Okay, so again, we don't really have all the clues. We don't have that F, that daggone F. If that F was in there, an F or an F sharp, we'd know for sure, right? But we don't know. But let's go back to some of the clues, because again, it's good to have all these different clues because we want to be looking at it from different angles. Like you want to look at everything, politics, religion, everything. Look at it from different angles. Analyze it because you want to know the truth, right? It's good to analyze things. So what do we got? We got a G chord. He stopped loving her today. Placed a wreath upon his door. C. Soon they'll carry him away. A D major. So that looks like the key of G, right? Watch this. He stopped loving her today. And doesn't that sound restful right there on that G? Doesn't that sound like it's the end of the song? It wouldn't sound very good if we went, he stopped loving her today. It wants to resolve to that G. See what I'm saying? So we hit that C there, but it really wants to resolve to a G. It's that gravitational pull. You don't have to know the theory to know what I just said was right. You felt that pull. He stopped loving her today. You can hear that it wants to go down to the G. It wants to resolve there. It doesn't sound good to go, he stopped loving her today. No one knows, should we clap yet? Now we should clap, right? That's called the tonal center. So you know this without maybe having the label on it, but you can feel it. Yeah, that's the end of the song. Tonal center, okay? Good. You guys are getting this. Let's do, should we do one more? We'll do one more real quick. And the first note was a G, yeah. Right? So it resolves on a G. Ghosty1 is asking, what does it resolve on? It resolves on a G. Okay? So, let's take another one. Happy birthday. Okay, now, let's go, let's do this. Happy birthday. Okay, so again, I'm just playing by ear here. So we got, so obviously we could play this in different keys. I could be playing this in a different key, but I picked a particular key for you guys so we could keep it simple, okay? So we got a G, 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 A, G, C, B, So we got G, G, A, G, C, B, G, G, A, G, D, C. Okay, you guys should be following along. And that knocks out a bunch of them already. I'll tell you when there's new information here. That's an E. Okay, right there, that's an F. Oh, yay! Now we know what key we're in. What key are we in? So basically we have G, C, B, A, D, F. So you guys know what key we're in, right? We're in the key of G. Yes. Chris, yes, is saying this. We're in the key of G. So this is what I talk about, the fingerprint, okay? And you can't get away from it. It's in everything. It's in every single song since the beginning of time, with the exception of music that's called atonal music or 12-tone music, which the whole purpose of it is to say, screw you, tonal center. You don't mean anything to us. Which is like, basically, if you've ever listened to atonal music, it's like going into the cafeteria when you were a kid and you hear just a cacophony of people talking and you can't hear anybody right. What are they saying? Every now and then maybe you'll hear some sort of pattern of a conversation. But really, it's just a mess. That's atonal music. It doesn't have a tonal center, so it just drives you nuts, okay? So, with all that being said, that's what I mean by fingerprint of the major scale. Again, hydrocodone. This is what we're going to do. We're going to get to some questions, okay? Which is going to make me happy here. We're going to get to some questions. So, yeah, exactly. Screw you, tonal center. You mean nothing to me. That's what the 12-tone kids say. I'm serious. Go on YouTube after this and listen to some, and you'll be like, that's why that's not popular and playing on the radio. I studied it in college. I wrote an atonal piece, but it's not very pretty. I think it was called, I named it, and for those of you that are French out there, I apologize for the pronunciation, eau de toilette. I think that's how to say it, which means, it's like the perfume. On perfume, it always says that, which means toilet water. So that was the name of my piece because I thought it sounded terrible. All right, so let's get to some questions, and let's, if we can, guys and gals, let's keep this associated to playing by ear, okay? And obviously, we got a lot of folks in the room. We got 237 folks online right now, and a bunch of people in the chat room. So I'm going to be looking out. But put a question mark by it too. It's going to make it easier for me to see what the question is. Okay. But let's try to keep it to the tonal center. If you have no questions about tonal center, about this fingerprint of the major scale, about playing by ear and all that good stuff, then we'll open it up. We'll broaden it up to some theory questions because this pertains to theory, what we're talking about here as well. And I would just want to make sure that eau de toilette. Eau de toilette. What did I say? Eau de toilette. Eau de toilette. I got the rest of it right then, right? Sweet. Okay. Eau de toilette. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so here's a question. So you just identify as many tones as you can to fill out the scale, and then look at the chart for the right key. Yes, 100%, Gus. That's what you do. And what happens is eventually, if you know the scale that I use all the time, this one, what I call major form 1, that's in the Unstoppable Guitar System. You can get in there, by the way, for those folks that don't know, on the right. For those of you that are at YourGuitarSage.com/live, on the right there, that limited time offers, if you click that yellow button, it'll bring you to open up another page, and you'll have the first 30 lessons of mine for free. You can check that out too, and then the $1 offer and a bunch of other stuff. But if you know that form, you can do the same thing without having to look at that cheat sheet. But use it at first, okay? So is all of this covered in your TrueFire course as well? Yeah, by the way, folks, I just did a course for TrueFire, and it just came out, and it's on the National Number System. Yeah, I cover this in it's not so much playing by ear, but so many of the same concepts are covered in that course. It's a very comprehensive course, but it's curtailed a little bit differently, more towards the Nashville number system and understanding that. But Nashville number system is exactly what we're using here, or the number system, to determine what chords and scales should be played. Okay, so same bit. Okay, so 100%. Okay. Okay. I'm looking. Thank you, Esquire. So I pronounced that right. Good. All right. Oh, Chris Heiss is asking, is it usually based on 1-4-5 chords? Excellent question. Thank you so much for asking me that, because I forgot to cover that. I did last week. Yes. 95% of the time, you're going to have the 1-4-5 chords in a song. Why? Because they're just the strongest chords. Okay, they sound the strongest over time. They sound the strongest. There's a video on YouTube. I forgot the name of the guys, but they sing all these songs. It's the same chord progression every single time, and they're like, the circle of life, and then they're like, just a small town girl living in a lonely world. They go into all these different songs. It's the same exact chord progression, which is like 1-4-5 minor 6, or some variation of that. 1-4-5 and the minor 6 are the chords that you'll use the most. And in fact, if you take a look at every hit song in the history of ever, you're going to find that like 97% of them are going to have those 4 chords in there in some form or another. So a super good start if you want to write a hit song is to do that, okay? Is it always the note you start on is the key that you're in? Quitch is saying, no, not always, but oftentimes. That's why you have to think like a detective, and a good detective is going to take a lot of information. He or she is not going to jump to conclusions. He's going to take that information, he's going to go to the end of the song, he's going to take what's the last chord, he's going to take what the first chord of the song is, the first note of the song, the last note of the song. He's going to put that all on paper or in his head, or in her head. Use the cheat sheet, but if you're not using the cheat sheet, eventually, like I say, I don't use it anymore. I haven't used it for years. I use it here for demonstration, but I use the major scale in those forms in my ear. So eventually you start leapfrogging. Some of these steps start coming out, and you start jumping. You start leaving some of them out and jumping to the next thing. Don't try to do that, though. Just, it'll happen naturally. If you try to do it, you're going to get in trouble. Okay, so if there's some song in a minor key, you start with the 6th major key, the same chords. Yeah, so like a song that's in a minor key, basically you're just going to do the same thing. Just think like it's in a major key. It's like the tonal center really. I had a problem with this when I moved to Nashville, because I love songs in minor keys, and the thought of having something in a major key when it's not in a major key, and then calling the 6th the 1 or whatever, that really made me upset. So, but everybody in Nashville here thinks of everything in the major key, even if it's in the minor key. So you just call it the same thing. So like, for instance, Carrie Underwood's what's it called? Cheating something. I forgot. That one. That's in a minor key. But most folks in Nashville here will think it like it's in the key of G, and they'll be like 6 minor, the D is the 5, the C is the 4 major, and then the B7, they'll call that a 3, a 3, 7, a major 7th chord. So good, all right, good. Yeah, Axis of Awesome. Thank you so much for posting that, Cheerio. You guys, check, don't do it now. Obviously, you'll get distracted from what we're trying to do here. But when we're done here, check that link that Cheerio just put up there. That's the Axis of Awesome. It's a super awesome video, and it will truly drive this point home that you're talking the same chords all the time. Everybody thinks it's all these different combinations, and it's really just not. Axis of Awesome. Yes. Okay, why does the 1-4-5 sound the strongest? Is there a theory reason? Ghosty, this is getting into some kind of philosophy, but I think there are some mathematical reasons why that is, and I've kind of scoured the internet, not obviously not good enough because I know some professor out there has written about this, but so like if you look at waveforms, like like when you take an octave, take a G and a G, but they're octaves, they're the same notes, you'll find that the notes of the octave are vibrating exactly twice as fast. So whereas this one's going like this one's doing twice the speed, and then you go up an octave from there, up an octave from there. Each time it's doubling the speed. Okay, so that's a pattern, and so there's a time when when those waveforms hit at the exact same point. That's why that has a resonance about it. And so the 1, the 4, and the 5 definitely have some mathematical resonances as to why they harmonize better, why they sound better, and why the chords work. I couldn't explain it any more than that, just because I haven't seen it explained. I know someone out there has something on it, but that's a great question, and I think it's a really interesting question as too. I think it's super cool. So, anybody know the key of "Say It Ain't So" by Weezer? Dun, dun, dun. Say it ain't so, my love is dun, dun, dun. If I, what it's like. So here's how to know this. So say it ain't so, my love is so wonderful. Whatever that note is when he says that, beautiful, or whatever that last note. Well, I don't know what the lyric is, but da da da. That's the key. But in that song, dear daddy, da 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 da, he starts messing with the tonal center, which is good. It makes that song so creepy and fun. If he didn't do that, then it'd be boring. You know what I mean? So like what I mean by that is elementary. So nursery rhymes are very tonal heavy. We could go nursery rhymes. Taylor Swift. Love Taylor Swift. Nothing wrong with her. I'm not making fun of her, but very tonal heavy. Radiohead, jazz, these starts atonal music. So there's like a spectrum of tonal people staying within tonal centers, and the poppier a tune is, the more tonal center it is. Typically, that's why a song like "Money" by Pink Floyd should have never been on the pop charts. I'm glad that it was, but it should have never been because the song's in 7. It's in a weird time signature, and they're using some notes that are outside the scale there, I believe. In your reference chart, what makes a chord diminished? Okay, good question, Rick. A chord, and I covered this in the course, in UGS course, but a diminished chord is basically a minor chord with a flatted fifth. So you could take any minor chord, and let's take a B minor. That's a 5 up there. But I'm just going to play the first 4 notes, okay? So here, a B minor chord. I'm just playing the 4 inside strings. I'm not playing either E string. And here's the 5, and if I lower that down a half step like that, that's a diminished chord. So minor, diminished. I like to play it like that. I like to switch my fingers around, but just to make it easier, you got that idea there. Pardon me. Okay, I'm feeling a little better. I think it's you guys. Is the melody line always... Sorry, I'm going through puberty. Is the melody line always dictated by the chord progression? Yeah, that's a great way to put it, Tom. Pretty much. I mean, it's like this. It's kind of like the mood of a room. Okay, if you walk into a room and there's heavy dance music going and there's lights flashing and everything, it's probably not going to be a depressing poetry reading. And if anybody broke out a little book and started reading poetry, they'd be like, what are you doing, dude? We're partying. We're having a good time here. Or if it was in the middle of a solemn church setting and obviously you can smell the incense, it's mass, and that smell of incense when they have a funeral or something, and it's very sobering music and what have you, you're not going to jump in there and start partying, right? There's a setting. And so you could think about that as the chord progression, and then you're maybe the melody. It's kind of like that chord progression really, you could go in there and start partying, but it's going to be really out of place. So it's more like the broad picture is the setting that you're in, and and you are the melody. So the chord progression is going to more dictate. It's like kind of the background. If this was a background of a picture, whatever that background is going to dictate maybe what the theme is going to be at front. Great question. Would it just be the relative third? Gus, I'm not sure what question that's pertaining to, the relative third. But there's something called relative major and minor. I cover that in the Unstoppable Guitar System as well. And basically, it's just that every major key has a minor key equivalent, like a evil stepsister or an evil sister, like twins or something like that. One of them's major, one of them's minor. They share the exact same set of notes and the exact same set of chords. So, for instance, watch this. If you're in the key of, look, let's go all the way to the bottom. Key of G. There's G major is the 1. Its sister key is E minor. Okay? E minor. It's the sister key, and they share the same set of notes, same set of chords. It's just that E would be the tonal center, like two people talking about a particular subject. Maybe it's war. Maybe one's pro-war, maybe one's anti-war. They're both talking about guns, lives, money, freedom. But they're slanting it a certain way to where you know exactly what they're talking about. Okay? Same thing with the key of C or any of these on here. Look at the key of C. You go all the way over to the 6th chord, which is A minor. A minor is the relative minor. Easy enough, right? Super easy. Okay, so Ghosty saying now even more confused. Okay, you gotta watch the series. And Ghosty, you can do it. You can watch the series of how to play by ear. I really go into more detail about this because some people get it from just a little bit of information because they've been exposed to different things in music and what have you. And then other folks don't. They need more detail, and that's totally fine. That's why I put it out there, right? Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep seeing some questions. I'm not even going to look if I don't see a question mark because I just we got so many here, okay? Not seeing a lot of oh, here we go. Nope, that's Jason. Okay, good. All right, so we've had some great questions here. I think I got them all answered. Excellent. What, my friends, listen. If you, so the 6th chord is the relative minor. Yes, Chris, indeed. Okay. Now, again, some of this stuff is easy to get with kind of a 30,000-foot view like I've given you guys. For those folks that are needing more information, man, check out, I've done this a million times. I've taught this a million times. On this particular one, I've got, a blackboard where I'm teaching the major scale and how that relates to the building of these chords and how everything's built, how the relative minor is built, just everything. And it's really going to help. Look, if you don't want the $200 off, right there, go to YourGuitarSage.com/UGS200. Again, this is celebrating the $200 or the 200,000 subscribers that I recently got on YouTube. I want to thank you guys so much for that. And in celebration of that, I wanted to say, hey, let's do this thing. If you've been hankering, I love that word, to get into the UGS, sounds like something my grandfather would say. If you want to get into the UGS, do it today for half price. And I'm not joking. This ends at midnight. So if you come back tomorrow and like, would you do this? It's like, dude, midnight tonight. It ends. So if you want to do it, get in there. It will end then. We're not going to be doing this for Thanksgiving or Christmas. I know that. I've spoken with Jason, and we've said we're not going to do that. We can't do that all the time. You know what I mean? If you guys knew how much time and energy that I put into this thing, you'd think that $200 was crazy, that I'm selling it that cheap, because thousands and thousands of hours are put into this. Not only that, when I started this thing off, there's probably 200 videos in there. There's nearly 400 videos in there now, not including broadcasts like this that I do every single month, where instead of having 204 people in the chat room, we've got like 5 people. And I'm literally, you're on the screen if you want to be. We're asking questions. We're getting all these questions answered on anything that you have regarding guitar. So if you want that, that's something else that I provide in the program for free. And we're also going to be rolling out something huge that is going to be for free if you're in the Unstoppable Guitar System. That's we're looking at that maybe January 1st that we're going to be doing that. More on that later, but just be looking out for that, and I promise you're going to really dig it. Okay, what else? Anything else? I don't know. I don't think so. Over on the right, my friends, you're going to see, what would the right be to you? Right there, right? Go right there. You'll see a button that is, or no, is it on this page? Yeah, sure, it's on this page, but it's below. It's down there. You'll see a little yellow button, a bright yellow button, limited time offers. So not only are we giving $200 off the big course, it's also 50% off all the Udemy courses and 50% off all the ebooks. I think all that's ending tonight at midnight. I'm sure Jason will put it there in the chat. He'll let you know for sure what we're doing there. I forget. Hydrocodone's got me. Okay? All right, that is it, my friends. I'm going to check one more time to see if there's any other questions here, and then we're going to head out. Last week's session is up on YouTube. Make sure you go to the live broadcasts. I think it's called live broadcasts or live UGS or live YourGuitarSage or something like that. It's a playlist, and we'll have all that stuff in there. If not, it's one of my more recent videos. You can check it by recent videos. What else? I was going to say something else. Yeah, but check that out. It's because it will really add to. It's more in depth than what we did today. This was in addition to that. Okay. Okay, I don't know that song, that Monolith tune, so I can't answer that one. Boy, still got a lot of folks in here. Yeah, sorry, the YourGuitarSage app is disjunct right now. It's not working anymore. It's just not. We're gonna do it again someday, but I want to give I want to do more stuff. Right now I'm concentrating on this live stuff, and there's only so many things I can do. So it's not working right now, but it will be eventually. We'll do it again. Will there be more of these, Eric? Yes, indeed. That's the thing I was going to tell you. YourGuitarSage.com/live. Tattoo it on your forehead. Write it down somewhere. Bookmark it, something, because anytime you want to see live broadcasts from me, we're going to announce them early, all that stuff. We're going to be doing all sorts of different subjects, and this will be great. Okay, so you'll be able to check it out here. Oh, hey, there's Jim. Jim Dorte, he won. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Oh, he got the Ortega guitar. So you guys know I'm not fibbing. I guess he could be a plant. He could be like one of those people in the audience that it's like my mom writing this. But so he said it arrived today. Actually, I think Jim's probably going to give us a picture too of him as it came. Yay! So glad that you guys got it, or that you got it. I appreciate that. Okay, back pain is no joke. It's not. Day is going good, other than my back. You know. All right, my friends. I think I'm out of here. Are there print versions of the ebooks? No, but there are these guys right here, which if you guys don't know those, sorry I don't have a close-up of those, but look at that wire in the corner. How unprofessional. I showed you guys my studio the other day. It's a big mess in here. But these books right here, those are on Amazon, and you can get those, okay? But those are not 50% off. It's just the ebooks. But we do give specials on that. Make sure if you're not already, you need to be signed up at YourGuitarSage.com in that bit. Okay? Okay. I think we are going to head on out. The next webcast, I'm not sure. I'd love to do these every 2 weeks. We may end up doing them every week, except like if I'm out of town or something like that. But I would love to be doing this once a week. It'd be so cool. But at least once a month, 2 times a month, something like that. So that's it. My friends, thank you so much. Hopefully I've covered everything here. You guys really make my life fun. I love doing this. I love teaching, and I love providing free stuff. I love when people get guitars and picks and courses and books, and it just makes me happy. And all the love that you guys send me via email and Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, it really makes me happy. it'd be cool if I were teaching on a subject like meditation or something that was even more fulfilling. But guitar is pretty fulfilling to me, and it's kind of a meditation in and of itself. So thank you for inviting me into your home. Thank you for watching the videos, for subscribing, and doing all that good stuff. Please let me know if you need anything online. I'm here for you. I want to know what you need. So I'm out of here, my friends.